Hello everyone, I'm Sarah of Rich Textures Crochet and welcome. Today we're going to be learning how to crochet the ice cream stitch, and when I worked this stitch up I just thought it looked like little ice cream cones, so that is why I'm calling it the ice cream stitch. It's a very thick crochet stitch to work, although it is a little bit open in its fabric. I'm working it here in two colors. It shows off the texture really well. This is the front side of your work, and then this is the back side, which is fairly similar. Today for the tutorial, I'm going to be using a 5mm or an H8 crochet hook. This is one of the streamline hooks by Furls Crochet. I'm also going to be using some basic stitch yarn, anti-pilling yarn by Lion Brand. It is a 100% medium or worsted weight yarn. There are links to these items in the description of this video. Also down in the description, you'll find a direct link to the free written instructions, which are on my website at richtexturescrochet.com. So thank you so much for joining me. While you're here, don't forget to subscribe, say hello down in the comments, take a look around. This channel is updated every single week with free crochet patterns and stitch tutorials. Now our stitch today is worked in rows, and we're going to be working it in two different colors. So we're going to start by taking our first color, our color A, and by working a slip knot, you're then going to work a foundation chain, and our foundation chain today will need to be a multiple of 3 stitches plus 4. So today I'm going to start by chaining 25. Once you have that foundation chain worked, you're going to begin row 1 by working a double crochet into the 5th chain from your hook. This chain 3 and the chain 1 at the start is going to count as a double crochet stitch and a chain 1. So we're working a double crochet into our 5th chain. You're then going to work a chain 1 and then double crochet into the same stitch. This is going to form a V stitch. Double crochet, chain 1, double crochet, all into the same stitch. You're going to skip the next 2 stitches and into your next stitch, work a double crochet, chain 1, and double crochet back into the same stitch. You're going to repeat this all the way across. Skip the next 2 stitches, into your next stitch, work a double crochet, chain 1, and double crochet all the way across until 2 chains remain. When you come all the way across your row 1 and have 2 chains remaining, you're going to finish off by skipping that next chain and working a double crochet into the final stitch. Chain 2 and turn your work. We're now going to work a bit of a cluster stitch over the next 3 spaces. So we're going to start by yarning over, then insert your hook into the next space between the first 2 double crochet stitches. Yarn over and draw up a loop. Insert your hook into the next chain 1 space, yarn over, draw up a loop. Insert your hook in between the space of the next 2 double crochet stitches, yarn over, draw up a loop. You then have 6 loops on your hook. You're going to yarn over and draw through the first 3 loops, then yarn over and draw through the final 3 loops. Chain 2 and repeat beginning in the same space as the previous stitch. So yarn over, insert your hook into the same space as the previous stitch, yarn over and draw up a loop. Insert your hook into the next chain 1 space, yarn over, draw up a loop. Insert your hook into the space between the next 2 double crochet stitches, yarn over and draw up a loop. Yarn over and draw through 3 loops. Yarn over and draw through 3 more, then chain 2. Repeat that all the way across. Now I'm coming all the way across here to my final cluster stitch. You're going to work the last leg into that starting chain 4. You're then going to chain 2 and then simply work a double crochet into the top of that turning chain, and you're going to switch to your color B. So to switch to your color B, yarn over, insert your hook into the top of the turning chain, yarn over and drop a loop, then yarn over and pull through 2 loops. Drop your color A, pick up your color B, place it on your hook. You can use a slip knot if you'd like, and then pull through. You're then going to chain 3 and turn your work. Now for row 3, we're going to skip the next V-stitch that's down there 2 rows below, and we're going to work a V-stitch into the next stitch. So we're skipping this V-stitch, or into the next space I should say, and we're going to work a V-stitch into the next space 2 rows below. So skip that first space and V-stitch and work a V-stitch. Double crochet, chain 1 and double crochet back into the same place. You're going to skip the next V-stitch and work a V-stitch into your next stitch. You're going to repeat this all the way across. When you're working these V-stitches, you do want to pull them up a little bit. You don't want your fabric to bunch too much. So do pull up your double crochets just a little bit higher. When you come all the way across, you're going to finish off by working a double crochet into the top of your turning chain. That brings you to the end of your row 3. At the end of your row 3, you're going to chain 1 or 2 and turn your work. And we're now going to work that cluster stitch once again all the way across, beginning in our first space. Yarn over into the first space between the first 2 stitches, insert your hook, then insert your hook into the chain 1 space, and then into the next stitch. Yarn over, or space, yarn over, draw through 3, yarn over, draw through 3, and chain 2. You're going to repeat that all the way across. At the end of this row, you're going to once again pick up your color A. At the end of row 4, you're going to finish off with your chain 2 and then work a double crochet into the top of your turning chain. In that double crochet, you're going to switch back to your color A. At the end of row 4, chain 3 with your color A and turn your work. Now for row 5, we're going to begin by working a V-stitch into the space 2 rows below. So this is the space immediately following that chain 3. Work a V-stitch into the space 2 rows below. Double crochet, chain 1, and double crochet. You're going to skip the next V-stitch and cluster stitch and work a V-stitch into the next space 2 rows below. Repeat this all the way across. When you come all the way across, you're going to finish with a V-stitch in the final space. Before your double crochet. So in the final chain 2 space, 2 rows below, work 1 more V-stitch. You're then going to finish off with a double crochet once again into that turning chain of your previous row. And I'm going to just work it into the space. Double crochet. You're then going to chain 2 and turn your work. Now for the rest of the pattern, you're going to repeat your rows 2, 3, 4, and 5, changing color after every second row. So for our row 2, we're going to yarn over, then beginning in that first space between your double crochets, you're going to insert your hook, then insert your hook in the chain 1 space, and then into the next space, finish that cluster stitch, and chain 2. Repeat that all the way across and then switch to your color B and continue on repeating your rows 2, 3, 4, and 5. And that's all there is to working the ice cream stitch. You should see your cones coming through there. So thank you so much for joining me. Once again, I invite you to subscribe, take a look around, and if you happen to make something with this stitch and share it on social media, do be sure to tag Rich Textures Crochet, as I always love to come by and admire your work. Until next time, happy crocheting. Bye.